Hello everyone, how's it going? I'm back with another message you need to hear right now. Let's hop right into it and find out what message your angels have for you today. So from the jump, I am hearing that you definitely have a lot of people copying you. I feel like some of you may be annoyed by this, but today's message was actually very positive. People copy you because it makes them happy to do so. You guys have this energy and this way about you that you introduce people to things that they've never done before. And when they start emulating the things that you guys do or get into the things that you guys are talking about, it also makes them happy to be able to do that. So I do feel like part of your purpose is to introduce people to certain topics or ideas or places or experiences so that they can have a better and more fulfilled life as well. Again, I do feel like some of you may feel like people are ripping off your ideas or the way that you dress, especially when it's people that claim they don't like you or people that can't be bothered to hit you up or talk to you anymore. But I do feel like some of you guys out there have people that wish that you were in their life, and by copying you or doing things that you're doing, it makes them feel closer to you. But I do feel like there's somebody out there that actually does speak about you guys in a high light. Like they actually do credit you for the things that you inspired them and the things that they're doing today. You just don't know it because you and this person aren't communicating. But I definitely feel like some of you guys may catch wind or have caught wind that somebody is doing something that you used to do in the same exact way, or dressing the same way as you, or going the same places that you introduced them to. And it's not with bad intentions. It's actually because it makes them happy to do so. And it's not only that they're copying you, but it's that you actually brought something into their life that they found out that they enjoyed also. And I do feel for a lot of you guys, this can also be like spirituality related, because my light workers and my healers, you guys are brought here to introduce people to certain things. So don't always take it as a bad thing that people are emulating some sort of quality that you guys have. Another thing I want to say too as well, there's some times in my career, especially my YouTube career, I say something or I introduce the audience to something, and then there's people out there that go off and say something similar or do something similar, and then people come up to me or they may tell me, oh, Alice, this person's copying you. But I don't really get annoyed about it because I kind of feel like my messages are meant to be shared with the world. So if somebody is inspired by something that I'm saying and they're sharing the same type of message in the right way to other people, I feel like my purpose is still active. Like, it's not like they're taking anything away from me by doing that. I know some people out there may feel like people are ripping you off or taking your money or whatever, but at the end of the day, like, if your purpose is to spread a message or to spread joy and other people are spreading your word and your message too, like, I feel like deep down, like, you're still doing what you came here to do. And I also feel like, karmically speaking, you're always going to get some sort of blessing out of that. Like, I do feel like some of you may feel like people have actually taken some of your ideas or inspiration and have gotten more successful than you, and you could be hurt by that. But again, I do feel like there's going to be a time and place where you're going to get your success too. Another thing I want to say to you guys is that just because you introduce people to something, or you're the first to do something, or you're good at something, doesn't mean that's the only thing you're capable of. Another reason why people get away with copying you guys is because you're a well of ideas and inspiration. Like, one thing you guys are doing one way, someone could take that one idea and run with it and become very successful. But you guys have a ton of different ideas and strategies and plans and ways of being. I'm hearing you guys are the blueprint, but you're the blueprint for many different things. I also feel like some of you are meant to go into certain environments like workplaces or creative environments and implement your strategies and your energy and then move on to the next. And people can really take whatever it is that you're doing and build a success off of it. And that's part of your purpose. So again, don't think of it as a bad thing if something you walked away from other people are now doing, because something that could be, in your eyes, over with or dead or lacking inspiration could be a seed for somebody else to plant something, if that makes sense. So again, things that you may have abandoned or don't really care about or left behind, people are taking inspiration from. And again, this is not an insult to you guys. This is actually to show you how inspirational you really are. And I feel some of you guys may be in a place in your life right now where you could be a bit like stuck or confused because you're like, how are people taking inspiration from things that I'm not even inspired from anymore? And it's because you could be moving on to a new cycle. So if the things that you guys are doing are not really working for you anymore, but they're working for other people, it could be a sign that you already spread your message, did what you had to do, cultivated those seeds, and it's time to move to a new environment. Another thing I do want to say too is that I'm going to run it back to the original energy that was coming in. There is somebody's energy coming in strong that you guys may be very surprised how much this person still loves you and seeks inspiration from you. And I'm hearing this is somebody from your past that you guys may have had a turbulent relationship or didn't always see eye to eye, but this person was always rooting for you. Another thing I do want to say too as well is that, again, every message can have its good or bad in it. And of course, we've heard the bad side about people trying to steal your destiny or be like you. But there's also an element where you are meant to be somebody that is inspiring to people. So part of your purpose is for people to take elements of the things that you guys are saying or doing and make success out of it. So the thing is that what I'm picking up on is there's an individual here who you guys could be, again, kind of pissed off or rubbed the wrong way, that they are taking things that you guys have done or saying things you guys have said and just running with it. But again, like, I feel that they're doing it because they really love the things that you guys say and do. Like, there's somebody here, guys, who's really talking highly about you, and you might be very surprised about it. Like, they will tell stories about you. Like, if it's an ex-friend or an ex, co-worker, or a past lover, enough time has passed where they have seen the situation between you guys with a little bit more healed eyes, so they can actually look back and still talk about this situation in a good light. And I feel maybe when the situation was over, it wasn't like that. But again, enough time has passed, and this person is like, you know what? This person really did put me onto a new level. They put me onto new things. I wasn't ready for it at the time. I didn't receive it well at the time. But now, like, I'm really embracing all the things this person has taught me. And there's another person here too as well that, even though to your face they may have never given you credit, they did implement a lot of the stuff that you guys told them to do. Because there's another side of this as well, that where you guys have people in your life that you are teaching them and helping them and showing them ways of doing things. And they're like, well, I'm not like you. I don't want to do it your way. I want to do it my way. And then they go off and try to do things their way, and they fail. So after your relationship ends, they decide to maybe take a little bit of your advice, and then it ends up working for them. And they get frustrated by that, because a lot of people out there, they want to do things their own way, and they don't want to give credit where credit's due, or even by following the way you guys are doing things or taking inspiration from you, they feel angry about that. And I almost rather have the person that is like emulating you and copying you and hyping you up behind the scenes than someone who's trying to do the complete opposite just to spite you. And I feel like you guys have an energy out there right now, someone who's actually doing the complete opposite of what you're telling them to do, and they're going to run into a lot of problems, honestly. But I guess you guys would be quite surprised with this other person here that literally sees you as a catapult, like a spark. And I'm hearing, there's a song that's like on TikTok, and it goes like this. I think like, yeah, like, I used to shine like gold, now I'm indigo. Like, it's in the song they said like, oh, my true colors, I'm wondering if my true colors left, like when you did something like that. Sorry guys, I'm butchering the lyrics, but I kind of feel like there's somebody here, and it's like they're looking back at it like you brought like color into their life, like you lit them up, like, and they feel at times like the colorful things that they felt when they were around you kind of disappeared. And the only way that they can kind of get that energy back is by doing the things that you guys are doing, or doing things the way that you guys did it, or going places you guys went together, or going back down memory lane, or linking back to the memories of when you inspired them or when you guys were together. And I'm gonna look into a little more and see if this is healthy or not. But the one thing I do feel in this person's energy is a sense of comfort when they think about you and when they do things you guys do together, or they talk about you a lot too. You know, if this is like an ex-boyfriend or an ex-friend, but like, I used to have this friend, and oh my gosh, they used to do this, and then I used to get so mad at them, but now thinking back at it, they were right about that. Like, this is the way they talk about you, and you are a character in their lives. You are a character in their stories. You are a character in their creations. It could be an artist. You are a subject that they write about. You are actually somebody's inspiration and creative motivation for whatever they're doing now. And I think you guys are a lot of people. So I'm running it back to the original message where I'm saying that you guys are getting copied and you guys are getting mad about it, but you should honestly take it as a compliment, because imitation is truly flattery. And I'm hearing this is not retaliation. This is not competition. This is survival. Like, it almost, so someone could have been brought to really low points in their life that just thinking about you was a boost. And that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Like, you guys are light workers and healers. Like, when you really look at yourself on a different, like, level, from a bird eye perspective, from God's perspective, you can just kind of see that you are this light that touches people's lives. But sometimes the flame is too bright for people to handle in that moment. Something is telling me that this person could have been spiritually gifted, but disconnected from it. Yeah. Here's the thing, guys, I want to say too as well. You guys may have experience with people that don't believe in anything spiritual, or are disconnected from their gifts, or not actively using it, or in denial of those gifts. And those people may even receive you better sometimes than the people that are actively in their spirituality, but a little bit like vain about it, because they can be trying to do the things that you guys are doing, but you guys are doing it better or shining brighter. But then there's a certain group of people here who you're introducing something completely new to them, and it completely shocks them, but they're also excited to learn about all the things that you guys have to teach them. And like I said before, there's dark sides to everything, but we're talking about a particular energy here in your guys' life where you might be you might have been rubbed the wrong way because they completely denied what you guys were, or what your relationship was, or even like spirituality as a whole, but it wasn't personal. It was because whatever it was, it scared them. We got the strength card there. I think that what you guys maybe failed to realize in the moment was how much strength that this person exhibited just by being in your presence, because it was a lot for them. So I think this person is somebody who's got this little lion in them. Like, they got a strong side to them, but you know, it's no match for you guys. Like, you guys are the strength card here. So you were taking people's energies sometimes and really like transmuting them into the people that they're meant to be. And we got number 8 here. I see 8th house, so there could have been like 8th house, like some of you guys know, like, you know, astrology. So it could be some 8th house placements. You are them. I actually have Mercury in my 8th house, for those that know astrology. Interesting enough. But anyways, I'm seeing Venus 8th house, Sun 8th house. Like, you know, some people are meant to transform not so graciously into spirituality, and you guys are that catapult. And as a matter of fact, you guys probably have these experiences too. Some of you guys are that 8th house person that's like meant to come into people's lives and transform them. And that's not going to make you the most popular in the moment, but it's definitely going to make you someone that gets obsessed over in the future. You know what I mean? Some of you guys may also have Neptune placement, something about your presence is supposed to inspire people to dream and to do, and to just, here's the thing too as well. Some of these paths are not the most, what's the word? They're not the most smooth, because sometimes we're not on the right path, and it's really hard for us to see that. And we meet certain people in our lives that throw us off, seemingly hurt us so bad that we have to kind of go back to ourselves and be like, whoa, like, I need to start doing things that make me happy, because this is it for me. Like, I can't keep going on the way I'm going on. And not only have you guys had people in your life do this to you energetically, but you are that person in a lot of people's lives. So think about sometimes like situations where you've been hurt so bad by somebody. I think this person had experienced that with you guys, and I don't think you ever really noticed this with this individual because of the way they reacted to you or whatever you guys were going through at the time. Because again, heartbreak is an interesting thing. You know, you always think that what you're feeling, the other person's feeling. I think you guys did feel hurt and disappointed by this person, but I think that you had something else going on in your life at the time that may have distracted you from this person's experiences or pain, or they just weren't really reacting to you the best, so you didn't really know what this person was going through. Yeah, also this person could have really tried to present themselves as okay. I actually feel bad for this person. Like, this is interesting. This isn't a lot of, okay, the reason why is because there was growth here with this person. That's why, because it could have turned into something, they could have turned into something more ugly. They could have retaliated against you, but they didn't. I'm seeing somebody, like an imagery of somebody that was like so angry and hurt by you guys, because the energy or whatever was going on. But the thing is that you guys were out here fighting this lion, like, you know, like I was using them as like, you know, some symbolism for the lion, but I'm also seeing that like in a lot of situations in you guys' life, you're fighting these huge spiritual battles and doing all these things with your life. And sometimes the people on the outside don't really see that, so they take offense to the way you guys act or what they perceive you as. You know, sometimes not okay. And a lot of times too, people perceive you guys as so strong, when I think that during a certain season of your life you were suffering. And there's a person here, instead of retaliating against you in the way that you guys ended, they decided to take a step back and look at their situation with you with empathy. And instead of, like I said, instead of bothering you again or trying to get back into your life or even doing anything malicious, they just said, you know what, like, I tried to offer my person help, it wasn't enough. And so yeah, actually there's some kind of realization here that they weren't enough for you. They're like, I'm not enough for this person, I gotta just take a step back. So interesting. Wow. But this is crazy, guys, because this person still has so much love for you. And that's what I guess the message is, like, God, I'm seeing like say in this message that this person, it took a lot of strength for this person to just walk away when they had so many feelings for you and so much going on, like, emotionally. So the thing is that they had this outpouring energy of emotions and feelings for you, but instead of channeling it at you or trying to make something work that wasn't working, they took a step back and they poured it into other aspects of their life. And they took the elements of the things that you guys taught them and the things you guys did together, the things you guys talked about, the things you taught them. Like, again, there's so much here that you guys may have thought was a little season in your life, but it was a catapult, and it was something that was so significant to this person. And there's a little bit of like honestly, guys, there's a feeling here this person has. I don't know if it's conscious or subconscious of like them wanting to step in and help you, but they couldn't. So there must have been things going on in your life that they could not handle. And I think for some of you guys, if you believe in spiritual warfare and stuff, it's spiritually, because they weren't spiritually as strong as you. They handled some of this stuff that you guys were going through. Like, you guys were fighting this beast here, and they're like, I'm just a king of cups, man. Like, I got feelings, big feelings, and I don't know if I can handle all this. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, you guys, my light workers, my healers, you guys have strong energy, strong purposes, big purposes. And in some seasons, some people cannot stand next to you. It's just too much for them to watch you guys. Like, some of you guys, like, this is a friendship, but like, it couldn't be a relationship, so they couldn't stay friends with you. They couldn't stay around. Like, you guys had resentment towards them for the way they reacted, but it was the best thing at the time for them to take a step back, because they're like, what I could love this person more than anything under the sun, but it's not enough. It's not enough for whatever it is that they're facing here. Like, I'm seeing this is a past energy for some of you, and yeah, you'd be surprised that this person doesn't hate you. They don't resent you. This is an ex, and they still think about you a lot, and with time comes some maturity and reflection, because yeah, this person's like thinking like, okay, at the time I was just a little baby lion acting out, not knowing myself, but now I'm calm, I'm centered, I know myself, and I see things more clearly now. Like, this person, they see themselves now more so like the way you were in the past. So they've grown to kind of understand the way you react to things, because now that's the way they react to things. This is somebody who almost like goes through certain things in life, and they're like, okay, how would collective act in this? Because they always got through every season of their life, and well, this is what they would do. You know, if somebody was trying them, they would fight that person head on. They would overcome that battle. They would just take it, you know? And this is the reason why I like this person, is because I've talked about this. And by the way, guys, you guys can support my Patreon. I did 2020, what you should be proud of in 2024, but I also did 2025 messages, and it's only $1 to support me on there. That, by the way, guys, really does support me and my channel. Just want to let you guys know that. Also, follow me on Instagram, QueenAliceLove, and if you're new here, subscribe, because you know, we definitely have a lot going on here. Okay, I'm trying to help you guys out, and there's a lot going on here. Okay, like, there's just so many things that you guys have experienced in your life, and it's like, looking back on it, you can see it through fresh eyes, because it was so hurtful at the time. And I think this is what this person's experiencing. Like, it was so hurtful at the time, but they're able to, now that they were put in certain positions that you were put in, they're able to empathize a little bit more what you could have been feeling and going through at that time period. They couldn't be a support for you. There is somebody here who felt like somebody else could have helped you better than they could have, so they let you go. Like, there is a humbleness here. Like, okay, like, I can't do this with this person, but it doesn't mean I don't love them or care about them. So it's turned into a love message. And yeah, you'd be surprised, like, how people, especially people you dated, copy you guys. Like, some of you guys may have seen that, like, or even if you're masculine energy, feminine energies can copy things you do, or if you're feminine energy, masculine energies can copy things you do. This also could be past friendship. There's so much love here in this person's energy. Holy moly, we got the Knight of Cups. It's crazy. Yeah, they're just like trying to like communicate in this reading that the love has never left. But instead of being bitter about it, they found a purpose with it. They made a purpose with it. Because the thing is that, thinking back at it, like, thinking back at the situation, they wouldn't have had it any other way. Like, they needed to meet you. They needed those changes. You got them out of bad mindsets, bad situations. And although the pain or the heartbreak affected them, it set them on the path they needed to be set on, to be a king, to be stronger. Because this person was a king of cups, but they needed to be a king of wands. And I think you guys, you're being kind of demonstrated by the strength card. Like, you brought a lot of fire and a lot of passion, a lot of truth into this person's life, where they weren't ready to fight. You know, they weren't ready to fight for certain things in their life. But once they're ready, they're going to look back at everything you told them and taught them, and all those battles they saw you face and overcome. And yeah, we got somebody who still watches you, because they know that just by seeing you guys keep fighting and keep going, that brings them inspiration, because they're like, okay, if this person could do it, so can I. There's no competition of they want to bring you down too because you keep going and they can't. No, there's an energy here of them having very human experiences with you, very real experiences with you, realizing that you guys are not so different. So if you can do it, so could they. If you can keep going with your broken heart, so can they, right? And again, this person could be aware that you were hurting over a lot of things, not just like romantically, right? But disappointments or setbacks as a friendship or whatever. Like, they seen you go through things and you just kept on standing. Now, again, like I said before, you guys could present this way and could need help. Everybody needs help. But there's just something about you guys. Your strength is so inspiring to a lot of people. Your ability to continue to put yourself out there. I actually see somebody reaching out or wanting you guys to reach out to them because there's just a lot of energy here. And there could be, again, a surprise of a past lover, a person. Justice, like... Okay. This person's mad at themselves. This is really interesting. This is why I feel like they're coming to the reading today, because some of you guys are very bitter towards this person still, to be honest, because you're just like, this weirdo, they want to be me, they're so copying me, they're so weird. Like, you may have caught wind this person doing weird things, like, even if they're not in your life anymore, or you just felt like they were weird at the time of knowing them, like the way they reacted or acted to things. And they're looking back at it too, and they're like, why did I do that? Like, why did I say that? They're seeing that you were fighting for them while they were just being immature. Like, they're like, why did I act like that? Like, this person's so embarrassed at their former selves, and that is why a lot of this energy has been redirected towards themselves. That anger, resentment they used to spew at you, it didn't change anything. As a matter of fact, it kind of made them look at the people around them differently too, because they're like, why did nobody step in and say that I was acting like a dang fool here? Like, everybody encouraged my foolishness. Like, because, again, people sometimes don't enable others. They don't ever tell people the truth. Like, you're the person who told this person the truth and brought so much clarity into their lives. Like, you're like, if you want to be successful, this is how it's done. If you want to get past, this is how it's done. Or you're like, well, I don't have all the answers, but this is how I did it, and it worked for me, so try this out. And they did, and it worked. But the thing is, they're so mad about how immature they were at the time, and they're embarrassed at the fact that you had to be the one to come in there and lead them and teach them and inspire them. They wanted to be that for you, but because this person saw you were going through so much, or you were struggling so much in the course of you guys knowing each other, and they're mad that instead of being the one to save you, that you needed to be the one to save them. And you guys could have had resentment towards them too. Like, you didn't want to save them. You didn't want to adopt another child here. And this is just kind of it. It's so funny because this person could present like a King of Swords. They could be an air sign. I see King of Wands here. I see King of Cups. There could be a lot of people who feel this way about you guys. But again, collective, I don't care if you're a man or a woman, you guys exhibit what it truly means to be a mentor, a teacher, a healer, a leader. A leader. Because the way you guys react to things, there is an energy here of you guys being like, okay, if there is a battle, if there's a war, I'm gonna be the first one to just go out there and just figure it out. Like, you're not going to try to cry to anybody. You're not going to try to get anybody to help you or save you. You're not going to complain. You're just going to do it. Like, this is the type of energy that this person sees you in, a suffering silence. And they're like, I knew this person was suffering, but I made it about myself. And for that, like, I hate myself for that. Like, there's a self-loathing here that somebody from your past has. And they hate the fact that you see them as this Page of Cups. Like, you think that they're a joke. And maybe this person even heard that you talked, like, you didn't no longer want to work with them, be around them, collaborate with them, build with them. But that didn't stop them from wanting to build themselves up behind the scenes and impress you. So another reason why this person may be doing things you guys used to do together, going places you guys used to go together, acting in certain ways, acting out in certain ways, they want to get your attention, and they want you to say something to them. They want you to see, like, look, like, I'm just like you. I am just like you. So there's something here where this person feels deep down in their soul that you guys were so similar. They just didn't want to see it at the time. So they're trying to prove to you now, like, we are the same. We are the same. This is why I'm doing these things. Like, I want you to see that I can be like you. I'm just like you. Like, And, yeah. There's somebody here from your past. I do believe it's romantic, but for some of you, it could be a friendship or work related too as well, or multiple people. But especially for the romantic sense, there is a big fear here this person has that you're not single anymore. Tower. This person is saying through the message here, like, you don't really realize, like, we got the Lovers here. You don't really realize, like, how catastrophic this breakup was for me. How transformative meeting you was for me. You don't understand. They're telling me to tell you, you don't understand, because they didn't want to show you all of this, because they were still processing all of it. You guys came in like a wrecking ball, okay? So yeah, let's get a little more messages here. By the way, guys, I'm going to be using my romance deck. It's available in my mystery boxes. If you guys are interested in purchasing, I am cleaning house of all my old decks from my Oracle deck shop. So I'll let you guys know I will be selling a lot of books and a lot of my old decks on eBay. I'm going to leave the link below. I'm not sure if there's going to be anything up when this message comes out. I'm pretty sure you guys can check the link. But yeah, some of you guys who live in another country are saying you want my decks, and I can't sell them on Poshmark to other countries, so that's for my mystery boxes. But again, if you're interested, check out the links below, because I am getting a lot of stuff and really helping me out here, okay? Big spring cleaning, even though it's the new year. Winter cleaning. Okay, I can't get over you. I'm playing games on purpose. I have a hard time communicating. Yeah, a lot of what this person's experiencing, they could just not communicate it properly. And honestly, this is what they're saying, okay? This is their perspective. You weren't an easy person to talk to at the time. Well, I can see that. You guys were out here fighting demons and battles, and like your armor is on. Like, you're like, I can't talk right now. I'm going to war. Like, you know? Like, this is the energy that you guys were exhibiting. And it may not be like, literal, but I kind of feel like you had your armors up, and probably towards them too, because the way they were acting, like you were so busy and focused on what you were coming here to do or issues you had going on. I'm thinking this is somebody you guys dated while you were going through a lot of stuff, and you're like, I don't have time to cater to you. Like, you're a child. Like, I have things to do. Like, I need a man. Like, rise up. Or I need a woman up here. Like, I need a partner here. I don't need another. Like, in their eyes, all they were doing was whining and complaining while you guys were out here doing big things. So that's why this person wants to show you that, like, they are like you. Like, they didn't mean to cause all this conflict. But there was an idealistic, like, view they had of you that we just had it together, or things are going to be fine, or they just made everything about themselves. I'm talking about you to others. I'm planning on messaging you soon. This is really funny because this is somebody who, reach out to me, please. They have been planning on reaching out to you for a while, but they never actually did it. They keep thinking about it. They're sitting on it. They feel stuck because, why do they feel stuck, actually? I heard something about you. This person could have been stuck because they felt like they heard you were with somebody else. And again, a lot of this could be immature or hypocritical because they jumped into a new relationship, or they just went off and told you that they're going to start dating someone new or they don't care about you. They said and did a lot of things on the way out that damaged their connection with you and made you guys feel like it was damaged beyond repair, and almost made you guys lose feelings for them, if not altogether. But none of what they said or did was a direct representation of how they truly felt. It was all just like games, and I think a lot of you guys don't realize that because you're mature and you're a straight shooter. If someone says, I'm not interested in you, I'm going to talk to new people, I'm with somebody else now, you're going to believe them. Am I right? I'm frustrated with you. I feel connected to you. Yeah, there's a frustration here because it's like, okay, I'm confused because how am I still feeling connected to this person? Why do I still want to be around them? Why is their memory still give me hope? Like, why do I dream about them all the time? And there's a very spiritual connection, especially for this person, because it's meant to wake them up. And that's another thing too that's like difficult about. I think you guys could have heard things about this person, right or wrong, through other people too, that made you not like them anymore. This person believes that you don't like them anymore, or you don't like them as much as you used to, or you lost respect for them. And that could be very much true. Another 8 here, I'm seeing. Person could drink a lot now. Yeah, oh my gosh, it's so funny. Like, you see this moon's like looking at this guy like, Like, I feel like this person is like anything to kind of distract themselves from you. But this moon's like, you could drink all you want. Those feelings are not going to go away. You need to face this. You need to face this. You need to face this. So yeah, some of you guys, this person repressed a lot of these feelings, and then they came out later on in their life, and they're like, dang, like, they've all of a sudden felt so drawn towards you out of nowhere after months, after years. And it wasn't that they stopped caring, it's that they really repressed it and did everything in their power to just go. But something broke in this person where they had to go back to the roots. Like, there was serious divine intervention here where, like, it wasn't just like, what God took away from this person was distractions. So that's where it starts. And then they had to kind of go back to square one. Gratitude and love. I'm telling you right now, somebody has gone back to the basics and started to feel a lot of gratitude and love towards you. They were like such in denial about like their own failures, and that's how they were their own fault. And there were things that they were doing were leading them to that. And they're like, oh, for collective failure is just never an option for them. They never fail. But you never fail because it's a mentality But you guys could feel like you fail all the time. You just get back up. Like this person's like really respecting you from afar. Adversary never scared you, but adversary scared a lot of people from actually going after the things that they wanted to go after. So you did something in the past and got some success with it, and this person may have even copied or emulated the way you carried yourself, or the way you spoke, or the way you disciplined people, or the way that you, I don't know, whatever, you're a boss or whatever, like something you did or taught them. Maybe they were trying to start a business. Maybe they were trying to start a social media page. It's something you guys told them or taught them or you did, they emulated. Even if some of you guys feel like you're not that successful, it's like they took an element of something that you did or said and gained success from it. So that's the thing. Like, you guys just have that quality where you are someone that brings people to the success. Yeah, this person could have a mother wound. There's something around this person that they realized was deeply, deeply hindering them. I'm telling you right now, this person could have gotten to praying. Wow. Even if they don't realize it, something spiritual is happening with this person. And they are being called to let go of this stuff that they're doing. Where they got a mother wound, so they're attracted to people that they think are going to mother them and enable them, or they actually have a mother problem in their life or something. There's a lot of different scenarios here, just because we are also, some of you guys, collective, you impact so many people. Multiple people have popped into your mind while you were listening to this message. But the people, there comes a time where you have to realize, or this person has to realize, that certain people that you think are helping you are actually the reason why you're failing at life, because you're listening to wrong people, or damaged by the wrong people, or have trauma from certain situations. And that's the thing, we're all a product of our environment. So a lot of us emulate, like, sometimes how our parents would have reacted to things, and some of that, as much as we try to rebel against it, like, we have a certain subconscious programming or upbringings that influence the person that we are today. And I think that being said, this person could have think back about the things you told them, or the way you grew up, or things that you've gone through, and they're like, oh, okay, I see why this person acts like this. But then they have to look at themselves and be like, okay, like, they were kind of stuck in some sort of way of dealing with things that used to help them, maybe when they were younger or whatever, but it's just time to grow up, and they've realized that. There also could be, like, a humility here, too, to this person. Like, they could have been so anti, like, their parents, or angry at the world and stuff. And maybe they actually went back to the roots. They went back home and started to try to heal their relationships with people. Like, because they're like, you know what? Like, there's love here. There's something here. Maybe you told this person that, like, you know, you should have more love and compassion towards the people around you that raised you, you know? Like, you shouldn't have so much anger, resentment. I think that, you know, anybody can start to become super unhealed and start to react in very toxic or even narcissistic ways. Maybe some of you guys thought this person was, because it's just that no matter what anybody did for them, it was never good enough. They were always just, like, suffering, you know. There's definitely a situation here where you guys had to take this person, like, and use strength against them, like strength to fight them off, because, or strength to stand up to them, because they have a lot of issues. I mean, we can't really say it any, but this is not to say that they don't anymore, but it's definitely like life has humbled them and stripped them of the things that they thought they needed, or the things that thought were helping them, but they were just distractions. And it's very humbling, because they're going to the root of where their pain is coming from, what is hindering them, what's making them believe they can't succeed. And a lot of times, too, this is the thing, we live in a society that people, and sometimes even spiritually speaking, or some of these messages, like, we're like, okay, just keep moving, and just forget the past, and that's it, and let go and find new, and da-da-da. But sometimes there truly is, like, spiritual lessons that are with people from our past. So it's like, there are situations where we're meant to work things out with people or resolve them or heal from them. And we're not just meant to forget people just because things don't work out. And it's like, there's something about you this person could never forget. And I don't want to forget this person because like, I'm quoting them, by the way. They're talking about you saying that. They're like, I don't want to forget this person, God. I want to understand why they're in my life. Like, I don't need to forget them. But if they're not meant to be in my life, let me forget them because I can't get this image out of my mind. I can't get the past out of my mind, get the person out of my mind. Like, what is going on here? But instead of fighting it, they're just starting to really get back to the root of what went wrong in their connection with you. And how can they channel what this connection taught them into something productive and beautiful? Because that is something that they are thinking you would have told them to do. That's something they've seen you do. You guys have a gift of transmuting your hurt and pain into something productive. It's also a message for you guys too. If you're going through something like this too, when you feel like this is you at certain points, like you're praying, like, how do I get through this time period I'm in? Do what you've always done, and you've done it before. Just do what makes you happy. Transmute that energy. Transmute what you're going through. Don't fight it. Embrace it. Ask yourself, where did it come from? What's the root of this? What needs fixing? What needs healing? Because there's something going on here where you guys are being stripped too a little bit of things and situations that are no longer for you. And you keep seeing it as failure when it's not failure. It's redirection. This relationship did not fail. It got redirected. Certain aspects of your life did not fail. You got redirected. There's certain situations too where maybe, you lost money and you had to move back home. That's redirection because you were meant to rebuild a solid foundation with your family. Like if you never did that, maybe you would have gone the rest of your life regretting not spending more time with your family, your friends. You are being forced to get to the root of what truly matters in your life. And I think this person was doing the same. Something about back to the roots. And yeah. And I feel for some of you guys, it's the complete opposite. Like you've lived a lot of your life maybe away from your roots and you're deciding to heal that, or they needed to heal that. But I think that for some people, it was like you were trying to teach them like you're too stuck in the chaos of like whatever's going on around you, which is family or this or that. You need to step away from it and heal for a while, then get back. Because I feel like some people have the opposite message where they're so attached to family or friends or people that they can't see beyond that, and they let those energies enable them or influence them toxically. And it doesn't mean they're bad people or that you have to get rid of all of them. It doesn't mean at all. It means everybody needs a time in their life to step away from everything around them, heal from it, become their own person. But still, when you actually do that, that's when you're going to be able to have the most quality and best time with the people you love, not a codependent time, right? So there could be a codependency here too. But I'm thinking that with this individual in particular, because you guys have a lot of different situations you may have experienced with friends, family, exes. This person is somebody who was like anti trying to work it out with people, maybe even a little bit like combative towards people around them. If it, I'll go at it alone type, possibly even. But they're seeing you guys could be go-getters, very successful, but they're seeing you walk a more humble path, and they're getting inspired to do the same. And it has actually brought them financial success to do so, which is interesting. It really is. So it's interesting to find out who this person is, guys, because it seems when they start walking their own path, like things start working out for them. And their own true path. They used to walk their own arrogant path, which is like their own ego path of like, oh, what's going to impress people? What's going to be cool? But like, you must have told this person, well, just start like at who you are. Like, you're not true. This is somebody you may have even told they weren't true to themselves. And you're like, okay, great. Now you're copying me. Right? Because I feel like this is somebody you're like, you have an issue being true to yourself. You just took aspects of my personality and you took aspects of things I used to do and you ran with it. And the thing is that, the crazy thing is that the most truest they felt to themselves is when they were around you, because you guys are similar. You have something similar about you, and that's why God brought you guys together. You guys have similar hobbies and things. You both lost track a little bit of who you were, but when you got together, you guys just decided to do things you both enjoyed together. And it wasn't that you introduced them. You may have introduced them or reintroduced them to something that they used to love in the past, or they could have loved, but they told themselves that they didn't have time for this, or this, or you know what I mean, or creativity things, you could have inspired them, or spirituality, they could have just logically pushed it off, or whatever. You actually introduce this person to an aspect of who they really are. So they're not copying you truly, they're inspired by you guys, and that's something that, moving full circle, I'm going to say. They have a past lover here that took a lot of inspiration from you, and they're like, maybe the reason why what I was doing wasn't working wasn't because it wasn't for me. It was because I was listening to the wrong people, doing the wrong way, not being authentic. And you used to always tell this person, stop being so fake, be real. Be freaking for real. Maybe not like that, but you guys know, you have your own ways. And shout out to if I have a past ex or ex-friends or people watching you, my delivery is not always the greatest, very passionate about the people I love. And sometimes like when I'm frustrated and I want the best for people, it doesn't always come out the best. So that's why I feel that you guys were trying to express a message here. And it doesn't matter like how well you express the message. If it wasn't received well at the time, wasn't received well at the time. But sometimes people mistaking your passion for just being a hater. You're not being a hater. You're trying to help this person. Be like, stop being fake. Like, this is not gonna get you guys where you want to be. Like, be freaking for real. Like, impressing the people around you is not gonna lead you to your future, and it's not gonna lead you to your destiny. So this person could even resented the fact that you never cared what people thought about you, or you thought this person had that same aspect. So to see them act like that, it really annoyed a lot of you guys. You're like, why are you caring so much what people think? Like, this isn't you. This is, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like this person, there's certain people who come across like they don't care what people think, but it's actually an energy where they are. That's why it's kind of tricky sometimes when we talk about this, because there is an element where you go places and you can still be nice to people and kind to people, but there's an element of like, oh, I'm so superior than everyone in the room, I'm going to try to interact, not try to make friends, Like, I feel like this person was kind of getting into that mindset where they're thinking they're just so much better than everybody else, and that's why nothing is working out for them, and that ain't the truth either, That's not caring what people think. That's pushing people away and judging people before you even get to know them. And I think that, yeah, again, and some of you guys could relate to this in aspects of yourself, because sometimes like we meet certain soulmates or experiences and we get the ick and get triggered so badly because they represent past versions of ourselves or personality traits that we must stay away from getting into ourselves. And yeah. That's an interesting thing too. I feel like sometimes the people that I end up having the worst type of relationships with, or the worst conflict, I should say, is when I date people that are more similar to me, because it's like the flaws are my flaws too. And sometimes you need people whose strengths kind of, their strengths help your flaws and your flaws help their strengths. And yeah, there's somebody here who like, I think that you already been through something they've been through and you're trying to help them and they're just not seeing it. But now they're implementing the things that you guys said and did. And sometimes they could do it in a way where you may not like it. But yeah. I also feel that this individual could have tried to come in and out and come back and impress you in a way that you didn't like, I think a lot of times, collective, you guys are my healers here. You are very misunderstood. And I know I can relate to this and I talk to you guys because you guys get me. You guys really get me. But I'm not a materialistic person, but I do love to motivate people to work hard and go after things they want. And like, there's nothing I hate worse than like having somebody in my life who's complaining about something, and then they, we fall off, and then months and months later they're still complaining with the same thing and they haven't even tried. What do you mean you haven't tried to apply to new jobs? What do you mean you haven't talked to your boss about that promotion that you've been complaining about? Like, what do you mean that you haven't even gotten a job yet, or whatever, right? Like, it's like you're making excuses. Like, and the thing is that like people can take that go-getter energy and think that it's materialism or something like that. So they're like, oh well, F you then, I'm gonna go off and make a lot of money. And they'll come back or I have people that I've fallen off with and they come back into my life trying to brag about how much money they have and whatever. I'm like, that's great, but are you happy? Like, that's what's important. It's not about money. It's about going after the things you want and finding success in that, which you should. And okay, if your resentment towards me motivated you to succeed more, I'm still happy for you, but you're missing the point here. There's going to be times in your life where money is flowing and you're not happy. There's going to be times in your life where money may not be the greatest, but you're appreciating the people around you. Like, it's not so black and white. But that being said, there is something to be said about a certain time in people's lives. They need to get going and get moving and get to the money, And it's just survival, that's life. And I think there's so many people that just like take that as materialism. It's like, no, that's not materialism. That's called taking care of the people around you. Especially when it comes to dating. Like, if you're dating somebody who's not at where they need to be at financially to date, you're going to tell them you're not in a good financial position to date, Like, this is not, me being a gold digger or anything. This is me being realistic. It might be this Capricorn talking. But certain people who are not understanding, they're just not getting it, They're not getting it. And that's what I'm kind of saying to you guys. It's like, there's energy here. This person just really wasn't quite getting what you were saying at the time. But they still had a lot of love for you, but it was starting to turn into frustration because you couldn't you couldn't get them to see the things that only time, growth, and spiritual advancement would help them see. And they're realizing the things you were trying to teach them and talk to them about wasn't about the things that they thought that it was. I hope that makes sense, guys, because I went on a little bit of a, personal sharing, but I like to do that because it's like sometimes I think that it helps people understand the message a little bit more. I mean, we're all human, having human experience, and we all make mistakes. But the thing is that what do you do with those mistakes? How do you learn from them? And again, there's somebody here. I truly believe that they thought that what they had to offer you wasn't enough because financially they were struggling, when in reality they didn't have the fight in them and the spirit in them and the right mindset and the right mental health probably to deal with what it is you guys had going on. Because at the end of the day, it isn't about materialism, it's about mindset. And that's what I was trying to get at. Like, there's a lot of people out there, it's like, okay, we all have down days and good days, but like, you never tried to even fail. Like, or there's certain people out there who keep trying and trying and trying, but all they're trying to do is impress people around them and not actually get to the substance of what the issue is and get success from it. You know what I'm saying? That there's just two different areas where we can kind of like highlight this energy where this individual could have exhibited. But yeah, I just feel that there's energy here where you guys were trying to motivate this person to be mentally stronger, and they just took it the wrong way. But then after the fact, they started to implement the things that you told them to do or the things that you said to them. And maybe a bit harsh, but sometimes the harsh messages are the ones that come through the strongest, because coddling wasn't going to help this person. I'm telling you right now, they wanted to be coddled by you and you guys weren't going to do that. You're out here dealing with your own problems and issues. The last thing you want to do is be coddling somebody when they can't even do the same for you. And that's the thing. Like, you guys are in a position right now probably where people want to come to you for advice, but at the same time, you got to make sure people are doing the work. The reason why I'm highlighting this past energy here, though, is because I do believe that it's going to actually affect you guys positively to know that sometimes people just need time and reflection. Your energy being in people's spaces when they're not ready for it can be very destructive towards them. Hence that strong 8th house energy. It's like this is tower moments on people's lives. Like, and if you're there trying to change them when they need to go through the tower moment on their own, they're just going to turn reactive towards you or towards each other, and you're just going to get frustrated. So being in this hierophant level of being a spiritual teacher, a light worker, is sometimes going in there, being okay with this person not liking you, speaking your truth. No matter how badly they don't receive that message, they have to hear it. And you guys said what you needed to say, and they can react or retaliate all they want, but it's all love there at the end of the day. It's all love. Like, you're trying to help this person. Yeah. And I'm just like kind of highlighting this just because like I do think it's somebody you guys may have dated, but you don't really want to take it a step further with them because of the way that they reacted to things in life. It just didn't represent the way that you guys would have reacted to things because it was not productive. And that's why I was going on and on about how people see things the wrong way. Like, I've had this, like I was trying to tell you, like, I've had situations where I'm trying to tell somebody to just stop feeling sorry for themselves and get up and try. And they're just like, oh, what, am I not good enough for you? It's like, no, your mentality isn't good enough for me. It's draining and it's not productive. And, I just can't have that around me because I have my own problems I need to deal with, right? And I think when you guys were in a position to help others, or when you were, or if you are in a position to help others, you're a little bit more patient. But when you're going through stuff yourself or fighting a war yourself, you really don't have the time. Like, imagine like you guys are fighting a war and you are literally at the front of the lines and you got somebody next to you that's like starts to sit down on the floor and cry or be like, oh, I can't go. Like, my armor is too tight. I don't know, something. Like, you're like, just freaking get up and let's go. Like, we have a war to face together. Like, what are you doing? Like, that's kind of the mentality I'm kind of seeing. Like, this is not an option. Like, like laying down, I'm going to leave you to die because I'm going to die too. If we fight this war and I'm here paying attention to you and your problems and I got arrows flying over my head. You guys get what I'm talking about here? This is not lacking of empathy. If you are a leader, a teacher, or you have a family, or hell, yourself you care about yourself, you're not going to want to put yourself in danger energetically, or actually for people that should be able to stand up and defend you. Especially, I'm not going to lie, and I'm not going to make this, about gender, especially if it's a masculine energy and you're my feminines out there. Come on. Like, but again, we're not going to make it about, and whatever you guys identify as, doesn't matter, but you guys get what I'm talking about. And the same thing for my masculines out there, whether you date masculines or feminines or whatever, like, same thing. Like, if you are trying to run a business here, you cannot be putting out fires that people are starting in the basement, like, when you're trying to work. Like, it doesn't make any sense. You need someone that's, like, the opposite. Like, like, you're calling them up, like, oh, I got this problem. They're like, already solved it. Boom. Already got it. Already on it. Like, you need a teammate, a team member. And this is what this person is realizing. I ain't no teammate to this person. Or they're going to realize it. Anyways, yeah. So you got somebody copying you here, That's all I got to say about that. Get the Hermit. Yeah, whoever this person is, like, I'm telling you guys right now, this is not a recent individual, not someone you just recently fell off with. This is someone from your past that you might be quite surprised how much they really truly love you. And in hindsight, with growth and a lot of time apart from whatever it is that was breaking them. And there was something about you guys coming to this person's life that they copied and emulated that helped them. And it was actually you guys teaching them to be their authentic selves. So you guys are really good at, like, I have a quality that makes people's true sides come out. And it was very triggering for them because they weren't used to being in that energy. Another thing I do want to say too as well is that they stopped doing certain things that was distracting them, or certain things just started to fall apart that were distracting them. That wasn't truly who they are. There were things that they developed to survive or to distract themselves, like I said, or even addictions or patterns or people they tried to impress or whatever. Either they had realizations themselves, but something tells me that they had divine interventions, strip them of everything, and actually bring them back to the root of who they are. And when they stopped looking at themselves like a failure, or when they stopped realizing you weren't looking at them as a failure, you're looking at them as a failure in mindset and change that they need to make. At any moment, they can switch and become a winner from the way that they think and the way they react to things. And that's just the message that I have for you guys today. Advice is coming through a friend. Music has the answer. Maybe you guys share a lot of music in common. They see signs through music, or maybe this is a music connection, or they are inspired by you guys musically. You're doing a great job very soon. Close one door to open another. Create a vision board. Maybe you encourage this person to, like, visualize or set goals for themselves. The angels are answering your prayers. You'll receive a message soon. I think whoever this person is, you're going to hear from them. Or if you do get called to reach out to somebody out of the blue, you're going to hear back from them instantly. It's just going to be a sign like, oh, wow, like this person does. You could rise above your competition. Focus on what's important. Others look up to you. Yeah, you guys are and will always be an example of somebody who can rise above competition, who can just ignore even things that are going on. I feel like also there's a big aspect of you guys having a lot of problems and issues going on that you had to just overcome on your own or ignore, and this person's seen you do it. And yeah, you handled something a certain way. This person has seen that, and they copied the way you handled something, or you would have handled something, or the advice you gave them how to handle it after the fact, and it worked. And they're like, oh my God, something has clicked in this person's mind, or starting to do things the way that you guys encourage them to do it actually clicked. And this is a thing that I think a lot of you guys have to get comfortable with. People hating you, you know what I mean? Like, I'm telling you guys right now, like, a lot of my exes don't like me, or they just claim they don't like me, or whatever, or past friends maybe even. But the thing is that, like, I don't really care. Well, I care, but I used to be like, feel bad, like that. Here's the thing, I used to feel bad about it because it's like, oh man, like, I don't want someone to see me in this light when I love them and I care about them. But sometimes people have to realize that they've pushed me to a point where I'm not going to be so nice to them anymore. I'm not going to be so patient with them anymore, because what they're doing and how they're acting is affecting me. And when I'm honest with them about it, it can also help them see that's how you could be affecting other people. There are times where somebody had come up to me, and this is funny too, like, as awful as certain people want to say that I am, especially in the moment, right? They always try to come back and then try to ask me, like, for advice again. I'm like, do you really want this? And I had somebody one time that, a long time ago, this is probably like someone I knew a while back, and then they had come back years later, and they asked me, like, well, why do you think that things are not working out for me? And I had said to them, I'm like, well, I remember when I dealt with you and, like, how you treated me, and it wasn't always the best, and it really, like, I don't know, I was just honest with them about, like, how they treated me not so great, and it really like left a scar on me, and it made me not really want to deal with them anymore. And then they responded, they said, "You're making this all about yourself." And I'm like, what? You asked me for advice, and I'm saying, hey, this was my experience with you, how you made me feel, and I could see why other things are not working out for you in your life years later, because if you made me feel so horrible and terrible while dealing with you, I assume that you do that to other people. And I'm the one who loved you enough to tell you this, or to stand by you, or to pray for you, or to try to help you, or tell you the truth. And it's interesting because a lot of these people still will try to be back in my life, regardless of how angry or hurtful or hurt they are, but the things I say. But the thing is that, because I think they know and they feel deep down, or there's some kind of spiritual lesson for them in listening to me. And yeah, and that's how you know the difference, like sometimes people don't come back into your life just to torture you. I know we talk about this a lot and use a lot of discernment and a lot of spiritual protection when dealing with past people. But there are times where people have affected me so much when I was younger, but I've grown and healed from it, and I can have that boundary now where I just see what they do and I kind of laugh at it. I'm like, they are who they are, But unless you're not able to do that with certain people, don't let them back in. But anyway, what I'm trying to say about that is just that, there's going to be situations where people are just, it's going to take them a while to get it. But I mean, the reason why they're still watching and paying attention or even copying you is because it does bring them happiness and peace, and copying you, believe it or not, is one step closer to them figuring out what's going to make them happy, in regards to like their life, versus doing the complete opposite out of arrogance that you tell them to do or what you're doing. And again, there's going to be a dark side of copying too. We could talk about that maybe in the next video. The dark copiers, the people who want to steal your destiny and stuff. We'll talk about those people next and what purpose they have and whatever in the next video. So subscribe, stay tuned if you're new, because I definitely want to touch on that. But there's actually a not so malicious energy or energies you guys have experienced that copy you, because your energy is representing the collective. So basically, when you guys enter certain people's energy fields, you kind of pull them into the collective, like whether or not they want to or not, and they get to choose to elevate. So by kind of being open or into the things or receiving the things or information or knowledge that you guys have, they start to be put on to something next level, and they can handle it and do what they want with it, or they could go back to the old ways. But it's kind of like a calling into a better connection with God, basically, because I do believe a lot of the things you guys do is just all based upon your heart space, your creativity, your passion for love and life and people. And you put people on to knowledge and things that are interesting and cool. And you make things that people never thought about interesting, and they want to do it now too. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing for you guys. And you can take a bit of anything and bring life into it. So that's what I have you guys today. You have someone from the past here that is basically copying you, but or doing things that you guys used to do, or saying things that you guys say, or some of you guys post online or videos. They can actually like laugh at things you say. They love it. They take some of it, and I wouldn't take it as a bad thing, because that means they're still listening and they're still paying attention. Like, they still care enough to not ignore your messages or the things that you're putting out there into the world. And they do care enough to still consider the things that you guys say as truth and implement them. So yeah, that's better than them doing the complete opposite and not listening to you and hurting themselves. And I want you guys to know this person's in a better place now because of you. They are, and they know that. And I think that that's a happy ending. Even if it's an ex or someone who you don't want to talk to anymore, they have a happier ending because of you. And sometimes we don't see it as that because of how ugly the falling outs were or the moments were of these tower moments. But just know that that's exactly, they are in a better space because of you. You did help them at a time that they needed it, and vice versa. So yeah, all you need to do is believe. And I think some of you guys are just in a phase right now where you may have lost belief in yourself, because being the person who stands up for things and implements change, you're going to get a lot of backlash. But you're going to see in time how many people really do implement the things you do and find success. Another thing I do want to say as well is that it's nice to see a success story from a past person versus like seeing them continue to make the same mistakes and end up worse off than they were. Like, I know we like to think, oh, F them, karma's going to get them, but sometimes people are less dangerous and destructive when they're actually in a good and healthy space and doing well. So yeah, this is somebody who didn't have bad intentions. Things just didn't work out, and they got blessed because they actually didn't, they could have chosen to keep coming back, keep hurting you, keep being malicious towards you, even retaliate against you or try to, but they never gave into that energy. Like, they didn't have it in them. So this is someone who, as nasty or crazy your arguments could have been with them, they didn't have a real true malicious intent towards you, because they would never put those malicious intents into action the way other people's have. So you guys might be surprised who this person is. I think they may reach out to you. They could have reached out to you recently. This could be someone from your past you didn't think you're going to hear from. This could be somebody that you've been thinking about or dreaming about lately. And yeah, they still got a lot of love for you guys, and they're thanking you because you definitely reconnected them with their inner child and an aspect of themselves that needed to be healed and looked at and re-examined. And you also helped them re-examine their behaviors and why it led them to where they are today. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you guys like that message, and I'll see you guys all next time. Bye.